Okay, so it's the start of our journey. We're sitting here, Morden Station, heading up to meet with the Huuhkajat fans at Euston, and we're here with Satu, obviously. Satu, how are you feeling after Saturday's game?
Not very hopeful, I have to say. Excited to go and see it, excited to be in Wembley. The game, I'm a bit scared.
What from the game on Saturday is concerning you?
Well, we weren't very efficient with our scoring, and we were a bit all over the place. I think we weren't as strong as we should have been. So, and now we're playing against England. So.
This train is now ready to depart. Please stand clear if we're closing doors 1 and 2.
So now we're playing against England. So I'm not at all really confident that we're going to win. And to be honest, I'm maybe the most excited to see Harry Kane live.
That is not very patriotic Finnish football supporting.
Sorry.
I think though that the formation on Saturday and the way we played much more attacking was interesting to see, but I don't know if we can replicate that against England.
Well, I hope we could, but also we have to be able to finish. We can't just attack and then not score. We have to have a finisher.
Because there might only be 1 or 2 chances.
Exactly.
Well, as the listener can hear, the train has departed. We're into the tunnel. So we'll pick this up a little bit later, maybe when we meet up with the other Huuhkajat fans.
Let's do that.
I'm now sitting outside the Euston Flyer pub on Euston Road in London. We're meeting up with all the Huuhkajat supporters, and I'm now joined by a very special Huuhkajat supporter. Identify yourself.
Terve, terve. Tässä on Keke Mylläri.
The one and only Keke is with me. And we also got friend of the show, Kevin, inside, who's come to meet us for a drink, so we'll have a chat with him shortly. But Keke, how are you feeling after Saturday's game about this?
I mean, Saturday was a tricky one. It was a hard watch. I mean, obviously sat there in front of the TV. I'd rather have been in Greece with the boys soaking up the sun, but yeah, watching through my fingers at the telly, and you know, I think it started okay. Started quite brightly. You know, another, what could we say, experimental lineup or some new players coming into the side. But after arguably our best player making that mistake that he won't want to see again leading to the first Greece goal, I think we sort of collapsed a little bit. So, I mean, today's a new day. I'm hoping that England, Lee Carsley may see this as an experimental game himself, where he can tinker a bit with his only second team that he's going to put out as England interim manager. And you never know, we might see a few more familiar faces, some of the older, wiser heads who know how to manage a opposition like England. And yeah, I'm always optimistic. Listen, I'd take 0-0 now if you offered it to me. But
too right.
But yeah, you know, I was saying to you before, Jere Uranen's come back into the squad. He's travelled all the way from the US, so I'd like to see him feature. You know, he's a solid enough fullback. I think if we do revert to a 4-4-2, that could be interesting. But yeah, let's see how we get on. So
for the listener who hasn't done one of these away trips before, we're in the we're in the pub where all the Finland fans are meeting. What can someone expect for the rest of the evening now? What's the Finland away fan experience?
Well, it's always good fun. There's always plenty of beer involved, and usually a march. But we're in, as you said, we're in Euston on the Euston Road. Wembley's not marchable distance away.
Well,
so
no, maybe for the Roman army or something like that, but not for us.
So we do have to get the tube, but yeah, I think the loose plan is to try and get everyone moving more or less the same time. Go en masse down to Euston Square and jump on the metro and bang the windows until we get to Wembley Park. That's
and then march to the
that's
stadium.
it, down Wembley Way or Olympic Way or Bobby Moore Lane or whatever you want to call it. But march down to the stadium, make plenty of noise, and give the lads as much support as we can. But yeah, all the SMU core lads are here, lads and ladies, I should say, and it's quite a decent turnout. There's I'm sure there's other pubs dotted around where there's some other Finland fans who want to keep a bit of a lower profile until things get started later on. But yeah, I think there's supposed to be about 700 of us, I've heard.
Is it? Okay.
So that's the word on the grapevine, that there's about 700 of us. So if we get moving at the same sort of time-ish,
sounds optimistic.
Yeah, and manage all to jump on the tube before that, we might be all right.
From my perspective, it's nice. It's weird actually being in there with so many Finland fans in a pub in London before the game. The two traitors are sitting outside. We got Kevin in there, who I think is in the home end, so he's hedging his bets.
Yeah. I'll tell you what though, Mark. I told you before, my phone hasn't stopped dinging today with people, my mates or acquaintances or people who don't know me at all, texting me and saying, "Who are you supporting tonight?" And every one of them's got the same answer. I don't travel around Europe with my blue and white scarf supporting Finland just to ditch them when they're playing in my own backyard.
No,
so
quite right,
firmly
quite right.
behind Suomi this evening.
There's an interesting mix in there of like meeting some people that you know the name of. There's a bit of almost like networking as well as drinking and just chatting with old friends as well. So it's quite a good vibe in there. And me and Keke bringing the London accent to those Finnish accents as well in there. So
yeah, this Cockney accent will tone down and get more and more Finnish with the more beers I drink.
And the closer we get to the stadium,
That's
where
right.
people are watching out
That's
for
right.
you. All right, let's wrap it up there. I think, listener, you'll find a kind of match report episode of some sort that we will have cobbled together after the game. But the idea of this was just to give a little flavour of the people travelling to the game as well. So let's see who else we can get a chat with.
Yeah, lovely.
So I've managed to drag Kevin out of the pub. Kevin's a long-time friend of the show. Welcome, Kevin.
Well, yeah, I've been following the show for a little while now. I feel a little bit of a kind of, an interloper because I've only been to Finland once, but I've been following the national team for a little while now.
Right, so this begs the question. Most of the guys that are connected with the Finnish football show have got a Finnish wife. And you just dropped a bombshell that your wife is not from Finland.
Well, no, she's from as far in England as you can get to Finland, which is northeast England, which is Grimsby. But yes, so my into Finnish football was as a kid, really, just getting really fascinated in European football and just having the deep dive into all the different European leagues back in the 80s and finding out all these fantastic names like Kussi Silahti and Valkir Koskan Haka, and just being interested ever since then. And ever since a child, I've really wanted to just go and find out about Finland and go and visit, and I finally managed to do it a couple of years ago. Went to catch a game in Helsinki, saw SJK versus HJK. So yeah, great experience, and I'm really looking forward to going back.
And do you have a favourite Finnish team?
I would have to say, because in England I'm a Norwich City fan, it would be natural to go for Ilves because of their colours. So yeah, Ilves is the team for me in Finland.
Finnish football show kind of extended group has got 3 Ilves fans in it now, with you, Jamie, and Erasmus. So that's a little bit overbalanced in yellow and green.
Well, you just have to go with your heart sometimes, and if you're following a team, you just want them to do well, and maybe some other fans for some other teams need to come along and step up to the plate.
So, so you've got this kind of love of Finnish football, and you found the Finnish football show. What do you get from listening and following us?
I think the show is brilliant because it just really helps to keep me up to date with what's going on. It gives a fan perspective as to what's happening at fan level, going to the games. I particularly like the kind of newer format of introducing new people onto the show and getting an input into all of the different clubs rather than just concentrating on the clubs that the hosts are kind of more likely to follow. So I just think it's a great listen, and it just helps to keep me up to date in the world of Finland, in the whole bigger world of European football.
And what about today? So we're a couple of hours from kick-off, England versus Finland. Where are you sitting, first of all?
Oh, you had to bring that up, didn't you, Mark? Well, to my shame, I've got a ticket in the England end.
Because you've only been to Finland once.
To be fair, I am English and I do support England, but Finland, very, very clearly, just narrowly behind England, would be my second team. But yes, so I don't mind what the result is today. I would be very happy to see Finland win. I don't think they are going to be honest with you.
You'll be happy to see Finland win, but you won't be cheering from your seat in the England fans.
Well, no, I won't be. Probably won't be doing any active cheering, but I'll be secretly quite happy if I see, particularly if I see a Pukki goal. That would be great with his Norwich pedigree. I just think I just want a good game really, and it's just a nice opportunity for me to go to Wembley. It's the first time I've been to the new Wembley.
Yeah, me too.
Last time I went there was probably in the late 80s or early 90s. So I'm just hoping for a good atmosphere. Already where we are now in the Euston Flyer pub, amazing atmosphere, absolutely full of Finnish people. Fantastic to see, everybody's getting warmed up for the game. And just bring it on.
Warmed up being a nice euphemism for slightly hammered. And tell people where your next stop before the game is. It's an interesting place for dinner.
I'm leaving here shortly to go off to Wembley early because I have found a Desi pub in North Wembley. And Desi pubs, for anyone who's not quite sure, are pubs run by people of British Asian origin, and pubs that are very, very welcoming to everybody in their local community, and who also tend on the whole to serve extremely good food. So Indian food. So I'm hoping to get a really, really good meal and a couple of pints, and then go on to the game from there. And great night.
Curry, beer, football. Sounds perfect.
It's a perfect combination.
Thanks for joining us, Kevin. Nice to see you, and nice to meet you face to face.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a long time.
We'll see you in the WhatsApp group.
Onnea Suomi.
Me lauletaan, rakas kotimaa. Sha-la-la-la, 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 sha-la-la-la. Tai missä vaan, me lauletaan, rakas kotimaa.
Okay, so it's post-match. We didn't get a chance to record anything at half-time because we were queuing for bathrooms. I was successful, Satu was less so. And there was no chance of getting drinks because then you can't take the drinks into the ground, so we skipped that. You can hear the sounds outside the ground now. An announcement that they're holding people in queues heading down to this tube, so we decided to stop and have a little chat. I think, well, first of all, I predicted 2-0 to England, so I have to say it's what I expected. And I think the game was pretty much what I'd thought and perhaps hoped Finland could do. Try and frustrate England, limit them, and hope to nick something on the break. And we did it to a certain degree. I mean, England were a little bit wasteful when they had chances. Luka Radetzky had a terrific game in goal. Several good saves. I thought, particularly in the first half, that Robert Ivanov looked really solid and had a good game. And we tried to play a bit of football when we could, and breaking forward with a bit of pace, and yet not quite pulling off the right pass when it was there. And certainly in the first half, I think it was Topi Keskinen had a sort of long, mazy run, and he went from the right out to the left and could have set through to Teemu Pukki and then shot himself over, and a couple of other sort of half chances, but that was pretty much it. And I think in the second half, it was much of the same without us really creating many chances. I didn't get a chance to speak to Keke after the game, so it'd be interesting to see what he thinks about it. But Satu, how are you feeling after the game? You said what you were hoping before. It's noisy again now. It's just a different noisy. So post-match, how do you look back on it?
I think Finland was a bit boring. Like I said, we don't have a finisher. We weren't completely hopeless. I mean, we had 0-0 in half-time, and we were able to break England's game a bit, but there was no time that we were really controlling the game. We weren't playing. We weren't playing our game. We were just trying to defend and stop England scoring the whole time. We barely got out of our own half, and we're just not good enough. We don't have enough interesting, strong players at the moment, I think. That's how I feel. And I did cheer a bit for Harry Kane's goals. I'm sorry.
So there's me and Keke being traitors by being in the Finland section, and there's Satu being a traitor for cheering Harry Kane's goals when they went in.
Yeah, I think this was one of the most surreal football matches ever, because I was in Wembley away watching Finland, and England was also like a home team for me somehow. So
you feel a connection with the...
Yeah,
with
I
the
do
team.
feel connection to the England team as well, because we watched England play sometimes, and the players are familiar to me, maybe even more than some of the Finnish players, because there were people there that I've never even heard of in Finland teams. So, yeah,
We're looking at you, Leo Valta.
Yeah, no idea. So I was a bit torn, like, Finland lost, England won. I'm not sure if I lost or if my team won.
I think it's... Personally, I'm not convinced by Benjamin Chelman up front or Freddie Jensen. I'm interested to hear what the other members of the pod say about that in general, if they have a similar opinion or if I'm missing something. That said, in future, a forward line of Keskinen, Hawkins and Ant-Man could be really exciting if we find a way to get them doing what they do best against the opponents, obviously. So let's see. I think talking with Keke, saying that it's been a tough year for the Huuhkajat and for the Huuhkajat fans, I don't know it's going to get much better during this Nations League competition, but I'm ready to be proven wrong. And let's see where things develop with Rive and the new coaching team, who haven't been together for so very long yet. And you can see changes that they're trying to implement with the starting lineup and with the style of play. Final thoughts. We saw some friends of the show on our travels today. It was nice to see Seppo in there, and lots of people that Keke was high-fiving as we were walking through the stadium. We also saw Marco and Anu from the Asukor Kloppit, so if they're listening to this as well, it was nice to hang out with them as well. Incredible experience to be in Wembley, to hear the roar when the goals went in. Just a shame we weren't able to get a goal for us and for them to hear us roar, even if we were only like 1% of the entire crowd. But fellow FFSers, I look forward to hearing what you guys think as well, and see you again on the next episode of the Finnish Football Show. This is Mark Wiltshire and
Lady S.
signing off. Thanks a lot.
You've been listening to the Finnish Football Show. You can find us online at finishfootballshow.com. Remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening or watching. You can follow the Finnish Football Show page and group on Facebook and also on Instagram. Escape to Suomi on Twitter is now Finnish Football Show on X. And you will find us on Blue Sky at Finnish Football Pod. See the links in the episode description, along with the links to the Finnish Football Show merch stores.